welcome to the Valley Star News. I'm Mickie Shaw, the Star's multimedia editor. This is a review of the second edition of the Valley Star newspaper, 2019 fall semester. Our first story is on the Los Angeles Climate Change Rally, written by our managing editor, Solomon Smith. So Solomon, what can you tell me about the rally?
So the rally was early September, and it was not just in Los Angeles. The rally was all over the world. It was a movement started by a young lady named Greta Thunberg, who spoke in New York about the pressing issues of climate change. Her main thesis is that young people can't wait for the government and companies to change the way we interact with our environment, that we need to do it now. And a lot has come out of that so far. A lot of people would like to see a lot more action, but we'll have to wait and see.
Is there any other climate actions planned for the future? Any more rallies or?
Well, Thunberg continues to travel throughout the country and to different countries to discuss the pressing issues of climate change. And the strike, which is what it was a school strike where young people come out of school to protest the way that we are treating our environment, has continued in a lot of different places. So the movement hasn't started. It's just that this rally was a focused effort that happened to be timed with the UN's discussion on climate change. Unfortunately, the UN and the three major polluters of the world, India, China, and the United States, did very little in response to it.
Oh, I see. All right, well, thank you, and we'll look for your story, and again, the second edition of the Valley Star. Our next story is by our staff writer, Jerry O, on the continuing rivalry between the LA Lakers and the LA Clippers. So, Jerry, what can you tell me about this rivalry? I didn't even know they had one.
Well, yeah, the Clippers and the Lakers have had a rivalry, a crosstown rivalry for years. But only recently have the Clippers kind of had the upper hand with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. They used to call them Lob City. Lakers were kind of on the decline. They were perennial, has-beens. The Clippers this year got two of the most highly coveted free agents during the offseason. But so did the Lakers. The Lakers had LeBron James. They picked up Anthony Davis, arguably maybe the greatest player and maybe the most versatile player in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard, who went to the Clippers, along with Paul George, two absolute all-stars. Kawhi Leonard is probably the only player that teams wanted more than Anthony Davis. So the Lakers have these incredible duos, and their matchups and their rivalry are expected to be better than any rivalry they've had in the past, just because of the superstar status. I mean, LA is arguably the all-star basketball capital of the nation right now, just because of all the superstar talent.
Well, that's incredible. How do you think they'll do this season?
That's hard to tell. And I'm not one of those people that likes to try and figure out who's going to win it all, because you never know at the beginning of the season. The Lakers look really good on paper. The Clippers have a nice core, but they don't have a lot of really great players, well-known players, established players coming off the bench as substitutes. The Lakers have a pretty deep team. They have really great chemistry. They played one game in the preseason so far against the Warriors and kicked the Warriors' butts. So the Lakers look really good. The other thing about speculating on who's going to win, and it has to do with teams staying healthy. If nobody is injured, teams could go all the way. These teams could go all the way. If some key player is injured, it really cuts down on your chances of getting either to the playoffs or through the playoffs to a championship.
Well, that does sound exciting. Thank you, Jerry. Our next story is on the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. Our editor-in-chief, Gabriel Arizon, is reporting this story. So, Gabriel, what can you tell me about this?
So Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, she announced a formal impeachment inquiry into the president in late September. So now the House committee is going to find evidence, build a case to see if there is enough evidence to justify an impeachment against President Trump.
Now, is this going to be a problem with President Trump recently saying that they will not cooperate with the committee?
Most likely, yes, since this could be further proof as building a case towards impeachment if the president is not cooperating with this case. And it may seem that he has something to hide if he's not willing to cooperate.
Well, this will be interesting to see how this turns out. Thank you. Well, that's it for our preview of the second edition of the Valley Star newspaper. If you liked our video, please remember to give us a thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment. We love feedback.